Okay, the recording timed out. We good though. We're gonna skim through this. Is this the one I need? Where's the one where we just saw it? Where we took some adjustment. Is this one? No, it's not this one. It's not this one. I don't think he got it. But that's not on him though. That's not on him. It's just this. I may just give up chat and pick something else. Because how does only one person have one access to a comic that should be accessible to anyone? And why is it not up here? Why is his the only one? Make no sense.
Welcome to the Complete Story Series. We take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help
Okay,
you
guys, this
understand.
is the one. Okay, this
Then
is the
we're
one.
gonna dramatically
This
back
is the
to
one.
you.
And then we're gonna watch
All
it again
alterations
back
to
up.
the panels, text, and images
Here,
are to prevent
here,
copyright problems, and
here.
all art is owned by its respective company.
We'll go back. This is the one. What up? Got more tea? Yes, I do. Story continues. Go to the link. After a hard grind chat, we found it. I partake in more tea. to
Jim
fulfill my
Gordon has
success.
taken over as the GCPD sanctioned Batman. But what happened to Bruce?
Why is this a part one? Where's part two? So what?
Company. It's been a while, guys, but it's time to get back to the Batman story arcs.
I'll go back
and
to
what
the
happened
back up.
right after
It's
the
connected. It's connected. It's connected. Go back.
Welcome to the Complete Story series. We take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective company. It's been a while, guys, but it's time to get back to the Batman story arcs and what happened right after the death of the family. Well, Batman Eternal did, but right after that, we had Batman Endgame. So make sure that you check out Batman
Wait, was Death in the Family
which will bring you to this storyline. And let's not waste any more time. Batman is joking with Alfred Pennyworth in Penny 2 when suddenly Wonder Woman comes crashing through the window, slamming Bruce into the wall. With him disoriented, she grabs him by the shirt and she takes for the skies, telling him to not even talk. She won't be listening. He reaches into his pockets and he pulls out something to mess with her head, forcing her to drop him, and he falls.
So Death in the Family is first. Yeah, I found the VR video. Cool. Wait, I'm on my fucking print. Was I watching ads? Brother, brother, I was watching ads, bitch. I got premium. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. I ain't poor. I ain't poor. Not saying there's nothing wrong with ads. I had to struggle with ads. One time I had premium for a while, and then I just quit buying premium. I was like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I'll do the ads. And here's the thing: the ad button said skip in 3, 2, 1. Click here to skip. As I'm about to click it, it goes into the next fucking ad. Then it says skip in 3, 2, 1. And then I click skip, and it changes to 15 seconds left on the ad. I said, fuck that. Give me my premium back, bitch. You're not doing that shit to me. On God. Can I save the game? Get out of the game. We'll play it later. We'll play it when we're done reacting. But we're gonna do how Batman did the prep time.
History? No. So this would be your first credit card. Correct. Unfortunately, we cannot give you a credit card. Oh, why not? so I'm in the right place. No, you're not eligible for this credit card. But why not? You need to build credit history first. Okay, I want to build history. Okay, go ahead and build credit history and then come back to us. Well, can you help me build history? How can we know you can pay the card back? I can pay back. You don't have proof. You can check my income. I have enough. Oh yeah, we can check your income, but we can't check your credit history. Listen, I can pay it back. I'm responsible. We can't know that for sure. I'm sorry. But thanks for coming in. Wait, isn't it in your best interest if I can't pay it back? That way you can keep charging the interest and it's a win-win for you. Let me speak to my supervisor. What's going on here? The card. That is a good idea. That's a great point. That's great. So I can have the card. Oh, absolutely, sir, of course. Let's just go ahead and check his credit history and we can go from there. Hey, give me a good hit. I got you.
Okay, we cancel the fucking game. There we go. Thank God. Premium. I don't listen to that. Just kick back and watch.
Welcome to the Complete Story series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites for you to understand. Then we read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by the respected companies. Now, I also want you to remember that we do try to make this channel family friendly, but this is the comic book Joker. He is twisted, and this story may not be for children.
On God.
Harley Quinn looks around the room, which is illuminated by a single light bulb, calling out into the darkness, asking if the Joker's even there. No one's seen him in a year, not since he cut his own face off in Arkham Asylum. She looks around confused. He asked her to come to this place, but it's dark and it looks like no one's here. "What do you want me to do, Mr. J?" she asks nervously. Something isn't quite right about him. He calls out from the darkness, asking her to take off all of her clothes. And she does as she's asked, stripping down to nothing. And then she waits. He hands her a suit and some platform shoes. And as she puts them on, she realizes that she's going to be about the Joker's height and appear to be about his build. "Mr. J, I'm going to look just like you." And he steps out of the shadows and exclaims, "That's the point! Just like me." But there's one thing wrong. Your pretty face spoils the reflection. I'll need to remove it like my own. And she asks him nervously once again, "Will it hurt?" Only to have him tell her, "Oh yes, tremendously! Experience a worst pain in your life, but the worst part is the eyes. Your eyeballs will dry out without their eyelids, and you'll always need to keep some eye drops handy. But don't worry, at first it's gonna be fine since the blood will keep your eyelids moist for a while." She panics and screams, "No, I don't want to do it!" But the Joker moves too quickly, and before she can react, she sees red. But it didn't hurt. He put the Red Hood's helmet on her. He has plans for her. Got her good, didn't he? Commissioner Gordon walked into the police station like he would for any day. He got his coffee and his donuts, and he was discussing the latest cases with his fellow police officers.
What Jim doing? This Jim shit?
When he looked at the end of a hallway, and he sees a man that he slightly recognizes. All of the lights go out, and everyone realizes that the Joker is in the room. But as the sound of a hammer thuds against skulls, and bodies begin to hit the floor, no one knows what to do. No one knows how to react. Shots are fired, but don't seem to hit a mark. And eventually, the lights are turned back on, and there stands Batman over Gordon. "Where is he, Jim?" But Gordon looks at Batman and he says he's gone. And he told a joke. Oh God, Batman, he told a joke. Batman returns to the Batcave just in time to see the television come on. A man in Joker face paint is reading a teleprompter. He announces to Gotham, "The Joker's back. He was gone for a little while, but he has returned, and he will kill the mayor."
No, it's
And
into
then
the
the
way with
Joker
50,000
shoots the man
subscribers.
dead on
With
live
50
television.
with
The
only
Bat family
50
calls
subs.
in trying to tell
50
Batman
followers.
that they can
Get
help
out of
him.
here. I thought you
They
were the
can
real
help him
Angela
find
White.
the Joker.
Got me all hyped up
But
for
he
some
simply
reason.
tells them it's
Holy
fine.
shit, I was
He
about
has
to release
this.
some shit, nigga.
It's between him and the Joker. Batman sets up the police force in the mayor's office, and they seal every entrance and ensure that no one gets in or out. Everything seems to be going just fine, until everyone inside of the building begins to vomit and die. The entire police force trying to guard the mayor suddenly falls over and dies right in front of
Yeah, that's
Batman,
threatening, that guy.
all with a twisted and demented frown on their faces, not the usual smile that the Joker goes for. After sampling the toxin, Batman realizes that the Joker is pointing him back to where it all started, the Ace Chemicals factory, and once he gets there, he only finds a person and the Red Hood outfit. "You're not Joker," he exclaims, and he jumps at the Red Hood. But the person in the Red Hood outfit exclaims, "It is here that you helped me remove my false skin to become the man you know me as, the Joker. But once again,
Yeah,
you're too
Batman has it
slow.
already
You were
in
too
lock.
slow to save
Batman is already in lock. Batman is already in lock. He knows that that's not Joker, right? Somehow he know. Somehow he know. They're gonna say that he knows that that's not Joker. And when they, oh wait, they already did. Fuck. Fuck. The cook don't work. The cook don't work because I got the information now. Never mind.
the policeman, too slow to save the mayor's men, and you're too slow to play with me. You've grown fat and soft, Batman. You can't even keep a bunch of old birds from roosting in your city and trying to take control. Your kingdom is rotting beneath you, Batman, and it's causing you to frown. Don't worry, I'm here to save you, to help you focus. I will save you from your allies, your friends, the ones making you slow. And Batman reaches over and pulls off the Red Hood mask to find Harley Quinn standing there with tears in her eyes. "Where is he, Harley?" Batman asks, and through the tears, she tells him, "He's not the same anymore, Bats. He's not my Mr. J anymore." "Tell me where he is, Harley," Batman screams.
Here's the thing.
But as he's standing
Batman
there,
always has a soft spot for Harley Quinn for some reason. And I swear to God, I swear to fuck almighty, once they release that fucking filth trash known as a fart festa or whatever the fuck they're calling that bullshit fetish child porn like thing with Harley Quinn's scratch and sniff fart stickers, if you niggers buy that shit, you are fucking weird. Get the fuck out of here. Okay? Don't do that bullshit.
screaming at her for the location. The Joker actually isn't too hard to find. He's currently at the Wayne family door, taking a swing at Alfred Pennyworth. Back at the chemical factory, Harley manages to get away by dumping chemicals on Batman, which stall him long enough for her to vanish. He stumbles out confused, and he heads straight back to the Batcave when he can't find Harley Quinn. This isn't right. What's the Joker's game? Why stall Batman? Why dress up Harley and remind him of their first meeting? He sends out a warning to the entire Bat family. Be on your guard. Joker is out there and he's targeting you individually. As he ponders what the Joker is doing, he walks around Wayne Manor, looking for Alfred. But oddly, he can't find him anywhere. After much searching, all he can find is a package with a cassette tape. And Batman plays that cassette tape, and to his horror, he listens as the Joker tortures Alfred. No. How could Batman be so stupid? How could he have let this
But
happen?
the Joker be doing that shit. And you're telling me that Superman thinks nothing of Joker. That's what you're telling me, Classic Man D? As he's torturing this nigga. I just don't get it. Like, he made Superman kill his wife and go berserk and then turn against the Justice League. He did that one shit in that one video we watched. Yeah, he got caught by lacking by Joker. Like, how, he means nothing to you. Then how did he catch you lacking twice? Makes no sense.
Joker tells Batman in the tape that he was making a celebration.
What? You get
and
away
he's gonna
with
need
it.
someone proper
Twice?
to serve it.
Nah.
Bruce Wayne's butler seems like a prime person for this job. And while standing there lost in his own thoughts of how he lost
Now you
Alfred,
gotta
he
beat
looks
the
down at
fraudulent
cassette tape,
allegations.
and he realizes that it's marked Gordon. He quickly gets over to Jim Gordon's house to warn him and ask him to join him in the Batman safe house. But Jim Gordon says no. He won't run from the Joker. The Joker took too much from him, and he hurt him too much. He needs to bring the Joker in. But As he says this, he's looking down at a photograph from one of the most horrific days in his life. The day when his daughter was shot in the stomach and he was tortured by the Joker. But as he's standing there looking at this, blood begins to pour out of the very pores in his skin. Batman cringes as he catches Gordon, and he hurries him to the hospital. After a little time passes, Batman sits down with Nightwing to explain what's going on. The Joker is attacking the family, the people who know Batman or are willing to help Batman. He explains that Alfred's been kidnapped because he was Bruce Wayne's butler, and Bruce Wayne funds Batman Incorporated, and that Jim Gordon was also a known ally of Batman and Joker attacked him. He also doesn't want Nightwing to tell the rest of the Bat family about Alfred because he's worried that they're all going to lose their cool. But when Nightwing asks Batman how he could even consider the rest of the family losing their cool, he tells
Nightwing's a chill dude, if you think about it. Because he casually got his wife talking about sex with him as they're fighting enemies. Like, how you do that, dude? And then she got you talking about how you do it in sex and how proficient you are in front of your teammates. Like, how you do that, dude? Twice. You got some riz, nigga. Like, arm that shit.
Nightwing that he's barely keeping it together himself. Alfred was like a father figure to him and he's missing. But don't worry, because he's gonna be able to stop the Joker soon. Because using his detective skills, he figured out that the Joker is going through all of their past meetings and past locations. With this pattern, he'll eventually end up at the water reservoir. Nightwing tells Batman to let him go with him, but Batman tells him, no, he'll handle this alone. And Batman was spot on. The Joker is waiting for him at the water reservoir. Batman looks right at the Joker and he says, what is this all about, Joker? Where's Pennyworth? Joker just lets out a laugh. Always right to business, Bats. Not even a battering to the head? Well, don't worry about it. I took care of everything. And Batman just looks at him questioningly. What do you mean? Well, you see, we would argue, then you would throw a battering, then I would press a button, we'd go boom. The poison would get into the water. Then you would save the day in the city.
Why is there a Joker in the background of my screen where there shouldn't be a Joker? Am I about to get kidnapped?
But I'd end up getting a few people with my poison. The unlucky few who went to their water before you were able to save them. Well, I went ahead and skipped all of that. I just went ahead and killed everyone, and they're all right in the water already. Just look down, Bats. Below Batman in the water are dead bodies, all weighted down with cement blocks. But before Batman can do anything else, the Joker wraps him up in a trap. The Joker then continues. I'm gonna save you, Batman, because you've gotten so weak you couldn't even stop a few owls without your allies' help. And since I've learned all of your secret identities and I know who all of you are, I'm gonna remove your weaknesses for you, Batman. So Batman ignites his gloves on fire and he charges at the Joker, grabbing him by the throat. And he demands that the Joker end this now. It's over. But the Joker's toxin was on his skin. And now Batman is paralyzed while the Joker simply walks away after kicking Batman into the water down below.
Damn, you got Batman like it.
He awakens back in the Batcave, saved by Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Jason Todd, Damian Wayne, and Barbara Gordon. Or Nightwing, Red Robin, Red Hood, Robin, and Batgirl. Maybe you know them better that way. And they want to know what's going on. How does the Joker know who they all are? And why didn't Bruce tell them about Alfred being kidnapped? Well, Bruce explains that he didn't want them to get emotional about Alfred, so he kept it to himself. And no, there's no way that the Joker can know who all of them are. But Nightwing tells him, what are you hiding, Bruce? I can tell.
Damn, Nightwing always knows.
So Bruce
That's
explains
what,
that there was
a real
one
nigga,
thing that he
Nightwing
has in the
a real
back of his
nigga.
mind. One thing that he's worried about. Back when he started being Batman, his next meeting with the Joker after the reservoir was on a blimp that was spreading poison over the city. Well, once Batman stopped the Joker and the blimp crashed into the bay, he would spend the next few hours looking to get the blimp out of the bay before it could poison anyone. He then spent the next few hours after that looking for the Joker, but he couldn't find him, so eventually he went angrily back to the Batcave. He was so furious that he lost the Joker that he went to bed that night without even checking any of his safeguards. And the next morning, he found a Joker card on the Batboat. All of the Bat family was in shock. Does this mean that the Joker got into the Batcave? And if he was able to figure out Bruce Wayne through a simple amount of math, he could easily figure out the identities of every...
16. I don't want to hit.
You're playing more, dude. What is wrong with you, bro?
Me.
What you mean, did you? Fucking showered down like I fucking got on.
Dude, it's fucking good. I can't fucking eat. Glucose 84. Every day is an opportunity.
Well, folks, it's about that time. Since Castlevania Nocturne is big.
So he could easily figure out the identities of the entire Bat family. So of course, he may know who everyone is. But Batman shrugs it off and says no. In order to have gotten into the Batcave that night, he would have had to have bypassed the Batboat's sensors, hold his breath for about 5 miles, hold on to the Batboat at 50 miles an hour, and then avoid all of the Batcave's sensors that even existed back then. Batman says that no one could have even done that, not even himself. But everyone else isn't so sure. Nightwing looks at Batman and he says, Batman, the Joker has done the impossible before, and you should have at least told us about the card. Batman walks away from them and says they're done talking. He's gonna follow up on a lead he has, and he leaves the Batcave. And the Bat family are there wondering why he still hasn't asked for help. His lead was to follow one of the henchmen that worked with the Joker that day on the Reservoir Bridge, and as it turns out, the henchman was one of the guards at Arkham Asylum. Joker has the entire staff from Arkham hostage, and he controls the entire facility right now. The nightmare that is the Joker is about to be even worse for Batman. So Batman heads over to Arkham Asylum and he enters it, and he sees how horrific the Joker has turned this place of healing into. In the first room, Batman sees the guards and the staff dancing in Batman and Joker costumes, all around him. And they're exclaiming, "Please help us, Batman, we've been dancing for days." Joker exclaims, "Welcome to your kingdom! This is your royal court." And Batman deactivates the electrical pulses, going to their feet before the Joker can kill all of them.
I put my shoes
Then he
on,
walks
yeah.
into the next room by cutting
I
through
have
the
two pairs of
stables,
shitty
where
ones.
a flaming horse charges at him. Batman simply rolls out of the way and he walks into a darkened room where the lights come on one by one. And the Joker exclaims, "Welcome to your royal knights, Batman!" Well, being that they're normal henchmen that were locked up in Arkham, Batman disposes of them easily, and he moves on to the next room, where the Joker doesn't waste a moment before explaining that this is the room that holds the royal tapestry. On the wall, Batman can see bodies sewn together and tattooed to display the greatest fights between Joker and the Batman. As he leaves the room, the bodies on the wall begin to talk, and they say, "Hail the Bat King!" Next, Batman faces off and disposes of his groundskeeper, Mr. Freeze, his royal player, Clayface, and his royal physician, Scarecrow. And finally, he gets to the top of Arkham Asylum, where he finds the Joker, Two-Face, Penguin, and Riddler, all waiting for him, and the royal court, led by the royal jester, Joker. He also sees that the rest of the Arkham staff is dressed up like the Justice League, individuals that the Joker intends to torture. Batman rushes in to stop them, but the Joker lowers a few bars in his way to keep him from getting to them. But it doesn't matter. Batman cut the power to their little room. They're locked in there, and there's no power to raise the bars. He's won, hasn't he? But the Joker simply says, "Look to your left, Bats." And on the screen to the left, Batman sees the defeat of Nightwing, Batgirl, Red Hood, and Red Robin, and Damian Wayne, his own son. Joker now has
Okay, but
everyone captive,
Nightwing's his
and he
son
looks at
too.
Bat-
Don't why would you say it like that? Like Nightwing's his son too. By blood, that nigga is his son.
Batman, and he says, "Now sit on
By
your throne."
no, not by blood. By code. By code.
Not seeing any other option, Batman restores the power, and he walks up the steps, and he takes a seat on the throne, allowing the Joker to electrocute him.
Damn, Batman is taking.
He slowly wakes up, blinking his eyes, and he finds himself bound to a chair. And in front of him are Nightwing, Red Robin, Damian, Red Hood, and Batgirl, all at a table with bags over their
Nigga, just
heads.
say the Bat family.
The Joker is also
Actually, no,
there,
don't.
welcoming
That would
Batman
fuck
to
up
the
the grind.
sick
That would
and
fuck up the
twisted
game.
dinner party.
Don't fuck up the game.
What
Say,
did
yeah,
you
say
do,
what you be
Joker?
saying.
Batman cries out as the Joker welcomes a servant to the table, someone to serve the meal to their guests. Alfred walks out from behind a wall in this cave, a big grin on his face, all Joker toxined up. And he removes the bags over everyone's head to reveal that their faces are covered in bloody bandages, and there's plates in front of all of the guests. All of the Bat family lets out a gasp as they picture what could possibly be on those plates, and Alfred slowly reveals what is being served to them. And everyone lets out a shocking gasp as they see their own faces have been cut off and they're lying on ice in front of them.
Yo, if they
The
take
Joker
TikTok away
lets out a
from me, I'm
cackle.
becoming a
He's
Chinese
won,
spy over
and
the
now
American
everyone will
government.
die as
Swear
he
to
ignites
God.
the entire
Swear to
table
God,
on
if they
fire
ban
in
TikTok
hopes
off
of
my
severing
phone and delete
what
that
makes
bitch.
Batman weak.
if they delete TikTok and ban it off my phone, I swear on my life that I'm going to become a Chinese spy, link up with the Singaporean dude that made TikTok, and we're going to overthrow the American government and bring about freedom and communism because we have to pay it back. It's a process.
But Batman knows this place. It is the caves outside of the Batcave, and there's an underground supply of water above them. He quickly pulls the support beams, allowing the water to flow and put out the fire, and he runs over to Damien to make sure that his own son is okay. Slowly, he peels back the bandages, preparing for the worst, and Damien even says, "Tell me what's wrong. Tell me. I can take it." And Batman just smiles. It was all another sick joke from the Joker. Everyone's okay. Nightwing tells Batman to chase the Joker while they restrain Alfred and help him get over the Joker toxin. So Batman quickly takes off into the caves while everyone tries to gather their bearings. But the Joker planned for this, and a bomb containing Joker toxin goes off in the room, infecting everybody. Nightwing, Damian, Red Robin, Red Hood, and Batgirl are all now infected, and they're all about to go on a murderous rampage. Batman catches up to the Joker and he punches him so hard that he knocks loose the piece of skin that was once Joker's face. As he regains his composure, Joker says to Batman, "You better go back and save your family. They're all about to die, Bats." But he just hits the Joker again. "I have faith in them. They aren't gonna die." The Joker just scoffs and says, "You shouldn't do that. They bring you down. They make you weak." But Batman tells him, "No, they make me stronger." The Joker just eyeballs him and he gets angrier, and then he spits some acid in Batman's face to distract him, and he runs to the nearby cliffside so that he can jump off and commit suicide. Batman won't win, but Batman catches him at the last second, and he tells him, "I've been thinking about what you said, old friend, that we should end this once and for all, this game that we play. I did what you wouldn't do, because this is the spot right here, isn't it? The spot where you fell off the Batboat all of those years ago? This is where you turned back, isn't it? Not because you couldn't hold on, but because you didn't want to know who I was. Well, I'm not like you, Joker, and during this year while you were away, I figured out who you are. Who you were before you were the Joker." And the Joker panics. Batman can see it in his eyes. "You're lying. You wouldn't use my own joke against me." But Batman continues, "Joker, I know your name, your history, your family, all of it. Come closer. I'll whisper it in your ear, darling." And Batman pulls him closer, and he whispers, "Joker, your real name is..." And the Joker
Gotta get all sensual up in that bitch. He said, "Yeah, let me hug up against you. Let me get that bitch."
screams, "Shut up!" and buzzes Batman in the face with a hand buzzer, forcing Batman to drop him down the waterfall. As the Joker falls, his face comes off finally, and it falls in the deep water down below. So, did the Bat family pull through the Joker toxin? Are they okay? Well, Batman was right. They came together, and they pushed through it. But the damage was done. The family doesn't trust Bruce anymore, and when he tried to get them all together so they can discuss the events, one by one, they texted and they canceled on him. No one trusts Batman anymore. He kept a potential reveal of their identity secret. He kept Alfred's secret, and he refused to allow them to even help him, leading to each of them being caught. Bruce goes down into the Bat.
I swear to God, I can find the full story somewhere. Swear to God. Swear to God, I can find the full story somewhere. Just gotta click the pages. Oh, that's why I was doing
Today-
this originally. Fuck, we're back to square one. Oh wait, no, go to here. We were on step 2, but we went back to square one.
Do you want to know what's happened to Batman over the last 10 years? Well, today we're going to be looking at all of the main storylines that have affected
No, let's just do it like this. We already found the video.
Welcome to the Complete Story Series. We take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective company. It's been a while, guys, but it's time to get back to the Batman story arcs and what happened right after the death of the family. Well, Batman Eternal did, but right after that, we had Batman Endgame. So make sure that you check out Batman Death of the Family, which will bring you to this storyline. And let's not waste any more time. Batman is joking with Alfred Pennyworth in Penny 2 when suddenly Wonder Woman comes crashing through the window, slamming Bruce into the wall. With him disoriented, she grabs him by the shirt and she takes for the skies, telling him to not even talk. She won't be listening. He reaches into his pockets and he pulls out something to mess with her head, forcing her to drop him, and he falls into the park down below. As she lands next to him, he looks up. What the hell is going on? And she looks down at him coldly. It's simple, Bruce. The League is here to do something we've wanted
Mommy Wonder Woman.
to do for a long time. Kill you. A panicked look hits Bruce's face as he calls back to the Batcave and scurries away. Alfred, release Plan Fenrir! Release the suit! We don't see him get into the suit, nor does it matter, because Batman is suited up to battle against the Justice League.
See, like, you can't
Welcome to
say, because this is prep time, that this is like, man.
Gotham, he shouts at Diana. And
Now, the prep time doesn't mean jack shit if we're taking Batman from his spot, from where he currently is, dropping him in a different universe alongside with his opponent into that same universe. So there's a separate universe on separate territories just to duke it out to see who wins. Then, because you can tip the scales with that one.
as he puts her into a wall. But folks, this is Wonder Woman, and she leaps onto the suit, tearing off an arm and stabbing Batman through the suit. As Batman bleeds out on the street, he asks, "Why?" And Wonder Woman just stands triumphantly over him. This is a lie. Because Batman has a plan for everyone in this suit, and he knew that Wonder Woman would only stop attacking him if she felt she won. So he managed to get a magical artifact onto her shoulders that shows her what she wants to see, the bind of veils. As she stands there thinking that she's won, Batman calls back to the cave. "Are you picking up the others, Alfred?" Alfred responds with no, but there's a reason why Alfred can't pick anyone up. Because it's the Flash, and he's moving faster than anyone can read. Batman shouts, "Run, Red!" And the suit moves into hyperdrive, processing data faster than any human reaction. Fast enough to map the Flash's movements if he isn't moving at his optimal speed. It then fires a frictionless coating onto the street right in front of the Flash before he can react, sending him into a nearby building. This isn't even close to done though, as Aquaman appears behind Batman. Batman begins to realize that this is insane. Who has the power to turn the entire Justice League against him? At least Aquaman isn't a problem, as the suit launches a hardening foam that sucks moisture out of its target, and it seals itself around Aquaman. Alfred calls into Batman, telling him that he needs to get out of there. There are still 3 more members of the League. Batman stands there though. This is the safest place in the city. If it's Vic, I have the electromagnetic tree. If it's Hal, I have the Citrone neutralizer. But please, let him still be off-world. But Batman isn't that lucky, as Superman comes barreling in, slamming the suit into a nearby building. Sorry about your little Justice Buster.
You see,
suit,
the suit
Bruce.
wasn't. The
Superman
suit wasn't.
says as he hovers over him. Who did this to you? Who? Well, it's a funny story, really. No, not him, not the Joker.
I'm gonna get an apple turnover. I'll be right back.
Prevent it from healing. But if you are who you say you are, and the dynesium in your spine is pure, then it'll heal. So all that's left for you to do is show me your cards, Joker. And the Joker turns back to Batman, throwing razor-sharp playing cards at him, lodging one right into his eye socket. But Batman ignores the pain as he leaps onto the Joker, biting off his ear and taking a few more clean shots at his head. Then both men collapse to the ground in pools of blood. The Joker pulls himself up onto Batman, and with a knife ready to plunge into his face. I'm the one who laughs, get it? I've always been there laughing at you, at all of you, at the great joke that you think your lives have meaning, that any of it matters.
I think this is the
But
story.
then you showed up, and you gave my meaningless a meaning. That's the funny part. I could have made you forever, just like you always wanted. My blood could have saved you. We could have had a happy ending. It could have been hilarious. But Batman tells the Joker, it's not over. And he maneuvers the Joker in the way of a falling rock, breaking the Joker's back. Both men lay there, unable to move, until the Joker begins to drag his broken body to the dynesium pool. What did you do to my back? I need the dynesium. Wait, Joker. Batman tells him as he climbs onto his back and he holds him still. I need to tell you something. I need to tell you that I finally believe you. I see it, right here, right now. You are the Pale Man. I'll be dead in minutes from these injuries. So won't you stay with me? Just for a bit? Stay with me and forgive me. Forgive me for being so blind. But the Joker looks around panicked. Just please, let me go! This whole place is coming down! Just forgive me, Joker. Fine, I forgive you! I forgive you! But it's too late as a giant boulder falls into the dynesium pool, sealing it up. As Penny 2 insists on lowering the last of the dynesium back to Bruce so that he can recover, he tells her to just take it to the surface. If he even tried to open it, it could compromise the structure and all of Gotham could fall. He's just going to rest here for a while. He'll be fine. 2 weeks pass and no one has seen Batman. The city of Gotham hosts a vigil of bat signals every night, calling to their hero. But no Dark Knight comes. Now I do want to clarify something because a lot of you guys are going to ask about this, but as far as Scott Snyder is saying, yes, this is how he would have killed Batman. And until DC makes him bring him back, this is, in theory, the death of Batman. Now, we all know he'll be back, and even Scott Snyder said that it will happen eventually, but I personally really enjoyed this story. Don't fret though, we will be doing more Batman stories. We have Batman Eternal and various other old Batman trades to go through, so Batman is not leaving the channel in any form, so don't worry. If you want to chat about this video or any other, make sure you follow us on Twitter at Comics.
I'm not watching the other one, because if this is how Batman dies, you can sleep there. Titans Rebirth, yeah.
Damian Wayne had one of the best Teen Titan runs at DC during
Why is it the
DC
same story as
Rebirth,
this
lasting 50-something issues and running for about 4 years. Damian led his team of Teen Titans against many foes such as Ra's al Ghul, Deathstroke, and much more. Welcome to the Comic Story and Full Story channel, where we take old and new full stories from comic
How
stories
is this
and put them
different
here
from
to
this
give
rebirth?
you a better viewing experience. Today, we are covering the Teen Titans Rebirth. I hope you enjoy.
Now, with the Titans Tower built, Damian looks to the future to see. You have found yourself on the bizarre side of YouTube, where reality meets fiction, where your stories are read back to you in a dramatic fashion, where I get to pretend to be a voice actor. This is Comic Story, and we take the time to make you a comic book expert by filling you in on the big moments happening within the world of comics. We do cut out some of the B-plots, limit our panel usage, and by doing so, we prevent copyright problems. And this allows you to have something to put into your collection if you choose to by running to your local comic book store, which is what I recommend. If you love comic books, start a collection. Go out there and get yourself some manga or comics
if
or
you don't know where
graphic
to
novels.
start
Or you
every
can use one
comic
of our
collection,
sponsors,
just look at the
Shortbox.
book.
Click the
Look at
link
the book
down
reading
below
if
to
you
learn how
like
you
it,
can
get
win
the
a
before
graded
one
comic
and
book
then
yourself
after
or
one.
discover the world of collectible comic books. Now, this series began in 2016 and ran for about 50-something issues. Originally, our channel had it broken up into 2 sagas, the Deathstroke saga and the ending. And I thought that since many of you have a hard time digging through our channel to find all of the continuation parts, you might enjoy just a 3.5 to 4 hour video called Teen Titans Rebirth covering the full thing. This series lasted about 4 years and runs right up to the current Robin run, so I hope
That's
you
an
guys
hour
enjoy.
right here. Let's do this shit.
Now, with the Titans Tower built, Damian looks to the future to see where this new group of teen superheroes will go. As Damian watches the sea from the Titans Tower, he listens to the news reports on the escape of over 50 prisoners who broke out of maximum security prison facilities and have yet to be found. However, in other news, shark attacks are up. Suddenly, a pelican swoops in squawking, and then Ngar transforms, telling him that if he didn't know, that was pelican for it's time for lunch. Damian tells him that sneaking up on him could lead to deadly consequences, so he may want to rethink before doing that again. Gar asks what is he doing here anyway, coming up with a master plan for toilet papering the Justice League Tower, and Damian tells him that he's just playing. Before Gar can even finish asking playing what, Goliath shoots out of the water, dropping a large stick, and he begins to lick Gar. As the two head back inside, Gar asks why does he keep that obnoxious bat Wookiee thing around, to which Damian asks where does his costume go when he transforms? Both excellent questions, Gar responds. Once inside, Gar serves up his mouth-watering platter of tofu for lunch, and Wally says that life is not worth living without double bacon cheeseburgers. Gar changes into a cow, telling him that that's like cannibalism, dude. And Raven asks Wally if he can do that thing. And in seconds, Wally runs out, and then he comes back with pizzas, shouting that Central City's finest pies are here. There's even a veggie one for Gar. And just as everyone sits down to eat, the security alarms begin to go off, and the island begins to go into full combat mode. Everyone runs outside, and just then, Damian shouts, "Titans go?" And that's when he sees the reporter from the news telling him that Mr. Logan said to be here for an interview at 1 o'clock. Gar shrugs, stating, "Oopsie, kind of forgot to tell you guys about that one." And while Gar goes to show the reporter around the base, over in New Mexico, Jackson Hyde plays with the water from his fish tank as his mother yells at him. She storms into his room asking how many times does she have to tell him he can't do that, not even with the door closed and the blind shut. He was already born with marks on his arms that people think are tattoos. Now he's bleaching his hair, so why does he try so hard to be different? As Jackson holds up a ball of water with fish in it, he says that he's not trying, he is different. Back over at Titans Tower, Gar's interview is about to finish when suddenly the reporter is grabbed and pulled underwater. Later that night in New Mexico, Jackson sits out with his boyfriend, telling him that he really should just tell his father the truth about them so that they can stop trying to hide like this. Kenny says that it's not really that simple. His dad is one of the good old boys. Big belt buckle and an American flag bumper sticker. Jackson then wraps his arm around Kenny, telling him, "Look, there's a video that went viral about the Teen Titans. He can't stop imagining what it must be like for them, living on their own, no one telling them how to live their lives." He opens up a water bottle, saying that he wants to show him something. Just like when they first got together and he would sing a country country song form. Just stay for this. The markings on Jackson's arms begin to glow, and the water flows from the bottle and swirls around Kenny, who begins to scream. He smacks the bottle, telling him to stop. What the hell is this? And Jackson tells him that it's okay, he's just like the Teen Titans. And Kenny walks away, telling him that he's had enough of this hiding. It's time for them to go their separate ways. So with that, Jackson packed up his belongings and headed off to San Francisco to tell himself that he needs to understand who he is. He needs to stop hiding himself away, and he needs to start where there are new beginnings, where he may belong. Meanwhile,
That
back
shit,
with the
that's
Titans,
the
Gar
power I
asks
do
how
too.
does he look in his otter form, and Damien says that he looks like bait. Gar then says that he deserves that. He was the one who brought the reporter into their base, and she disappeared on his watch. Raven reports that she's not picked up anything, and Starfire says that she circled the Bay Area twice and found nothing. Damien tells everyone to just keep an eye out, and Gar heads back into the water to look around. Just as he looks down towards the sea floor, he sees a giant thing swimming by fast. Gar changes into a fish, and he jumps out of the water shouting, "Guys, I think we're gonna need a bigger boat!" And that's when King Shark jumps out of the water, destroying Damien's Titan boat. While King Shark makes his way towards everyone, Damien shouts that this guy is a killing machine, but this is what they were trained for. Begin Maneuver X! Wally then asks, which one is that? The one where I run in circles making a whirlpool, or the one where I twirl my arms to make a cyclone? Raven tells him that it doesn't take a mind reader to sense that Damien is going to be so mad. King Shark punches Damien, and Starfire catches him, and he shouts that she wasn't supposed to be there, she was supposed to be over there. Didn't anyone study the playbook that he gave him? King Shark then escapes back into the waters and swims over to his hideout underneath Alcatraz. Once inside, he tells the escaped prisoners that he's gotten the attention of the so-called heroes. With the reporters' help, soon they will have the attention of all of the air breathers, so let the feeding frenzy begin. Back at the Titan's tower, Damien begins to prepare for the next battle when a voice calls out, "Ahem, yeah, hi." Everyone turns back to see Jackson, and Damien runs over asking how did he get past their security? He should have been shocked, missiled, trapdoored at least a dozen times. Jackson points at Goliath, stating, "Actually, the big
What do
furry
we
thing
say,
let
what
me
do
in."
we say?
Before Damien can even yell at Goliath, Jackson tells him not to be mad at him, he just didn't know where else to go. His name is Jackson Hyde, and he was kind of hoping that they could help him figure out a few things. So he came for an audition? Damien walks past him, telling him, "Not a chance." And Jackson says that he can speak with water, he can move it with his mind, and Damien stops him asking, "And what, squirt gun? You want to come play in our clubhouse?" He goes on saying that this team will be the ground version of the Watchtower team. Everyone has been recruited for a specific reason, so bottom line is, he wouldn't fit in. Jackson begins to head out, saying that if he doesn't belong here, he won't belong anywhere. While everyone says that was a bit harsh of him, Damien tells everyone that he's pinpointed King Shark's base, so they gotta go. Suddenly the monitors change and everyone sees the reporter from before announcing that she is broadcasting from the Alcatraz Island with an exclusive interview with, but King Shark interrupts her shouting, "King Shark, and I have a message for everyone. The air breathers damned these prisoners in their previous life, so it is I who has given them a second chance. My soldiers are more evolved, outfitted with gills, claws, and teeth." And within moments, Gar bursts through the prison walls. While everyone follows Gar in, he shouts, "Newsflash, we're here to kick your butt." Everyone quickly begins to fight off the shark prisoners, while Starfire tells the human prisoners that she believes the human expression for this is "run for your lives." Wally begins to run with Raven on his back, and as he passes by some people, Raven touches and starts to teleport people away. King Shark begins to run back outside, and as he leaps into the water, Damien throws a batarang at him and pulls him back in. King Shark grabs the wire around him, flinging Damien over to him, and he grabs him, telling him that he caught himself a minnow. But before King Shark can sink his teeth into Damien, water begins to rise and knock the two of them down, and Jackson asks if he really just did that. Damien shouts for him to get away, he's just gonna get himself killed. But with the wire still wrapped around King Shark, he jumps into the water, pulling Damien with him. Just as King Shark gets to the depths that would crush a normal human bone, Jackson swims down with a watery blade, thinking, yeah, I could die, but it's time to use this power for good. Jackson slashes away at King Shark's chest, and he quickly grabs Damien, swimming back up. However, there's one thing that Jackson needed: air! He quickly gasps, but rather than drowning in water, he breathes it. As Jackson rides the water, carrying Damien out, he tells himself, yeah, this is where I belong. Later that night in the Titan's tower, Damien calls out to Jackson, telling him that they need to talk. Jackson says, yeah, he knows, he sucks and he should just go home, right? And Damien says that now that the shark mutants have been rounded up and sent to Star Labs for questions, they couldn't find King Shark. So he's come here to give him this, and he tosses him a box. Jackson pulls out a uniform, and Damien says that he was working on a Hydra suit for himself, so it might be a little tight. Jackson asks if this means that he can stay with the Teen Titans, and Damien tells him that it's just a costume, so don't get too comfortable.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
imagine-
back over at the
imagine
Nemo
breaking
outpost,
Israel,
Blackjack
like, trying to
asks
be
King
a hero,
Shark
I
if he
was
really thought it would be wise to broadcast himself like that. But as
Bitch
they
shit.
talk, a
Yeah,
voice
fuck.
interrupts them and asks King Shark to tell him more about this boy, the one who speaks to water. King Shark looks over at the voice and tells him that he thought he was dead, and Black Manta steps out, telling him, I want to hear everything. about him. In the center of the city, Ravager has defeated all of the Titans and has pinned Robin to the ground. Donna yells out that Ravager is so fast he's unstoppable, and he sneers, telling her, "That's right, Hive made me faster, stronger. Now nothing can stop the Ravager. I'm practically invincible." But as
Holy
he's
shit,
gloating,
okay, I'm done
he reels
watching
back
comics.
in pain, and the Titans
I'm done watching comics. Y'all want to see my Project Zomboid server that I started up my day one? I'll show it. Hold on, let me watch me. Let me watch me.
begins to prepare for the next battle when a voice calls out, "Ahem, yeah, hi." Everyone turns back to see Jackson, and Damien runs over asking how did he get past their security. He should have been shocked, missiled, trapdoored at least a dozen times. Jackson points at Goliath, stating, "Actually, the big furry thing let me in." Before Damien can even yell at Goliath, Jackson tells him not to be mad at him. He just didn't know where else to go. His name is Jackson Hyde, and he was kind of hoping that they could help him figure out a few things. So he came for an audition. Damien walks past him, telling him, "Not a chance," and Jackson says that he can speak with water, he can move it with his mind, and Damien stops him asking, "And what? Squirt gun? You want to come play in our clubhouse?" He goes on saying that this team will be the ground version of the Watchtower team. Everyone has been recruited for a specific reason, so bottom line is, he wouldn't fit in. Jackson begins to head out, saying that if he doesn't belong here, he won't belong anywhere. While everyone says that was a bit harsh of him, Damien tells everyone that he's pinpointed King Shark's base, so they gotta go. Suddenly the monitors change and everyone sees the reporter from before announcing that she is broadcasting from the Alcatraz Island with an exclusive interview but King Shark interrupts her, shouting, "King Shark, and I have a message for everyone. The air breathers damned these prisoners and their previous life. So, it is I who has given them a second chance. My soldiers are more evolved, outfitted with gills, claws, and teeth." And within moments, Guard bursts through the prison walls, while everyone
Yeah, I have a
follows
lot
Guard in. He shouts, "Newsflash, we're here to kick your butt." Everyone quickly begins to fight off the shark prisoners.
Yeah, my latency fucking
Prisoners.
Jesus
The
Christ.
for this is run for your lives. Wally begins to run with Raven on his
Play again.